Chapter 1. Helen heard a cry for help. As she neared the river, the cry grew louder. A small crowd gathered at the iced edge. Looking out, she could see a child had broken through the ice into the freezing water. People had their phones out calling 911 or taking video. But no one seemed inclined to actually help the little girl. As she cried out again for help, Helen did not think twice. She wrapped a dead vine around her waist and went out onto the thin ice. It broke. The freezing water seeped into her very bones. That did not matter. She was going to get to that child. People on the shore seemed more inclined to help now. Two bigger men held the vine as Helen broke at the ice with her raw red fingers. The child seemed to rally as she got closer. She seemed more willing to hold on, and then, without warning, under the water she went. Helen did not even think about it. Under the water she went too, swimming as fast as her arms and legs would let her. She felt hair and grabbed it. Kicking with all of her might, she broke the surface of the water. "I have her," she yelled, and that was all it took for her to feel herself being pulled in. As they were pulling her, she was pulling the little girl's head up out of the water. Helen looked at the child's lips. They were blue and her face looked lifeless. As they pulled her onto land, Helen rolled the girl on her back and breathed into her mouth. She was just getting ready to press on the child's chest when the girl made a gurgle and spit out water from her lungs. The child made a small cry and then a louder one. Helen looked at her, but something was not right. She looked like a cloud was around her. She looked harder and blinked to clear her vision. Why was everything so fuzzy? Helen shook her head one more time, before passing out. Helen woke up to the sound of her mother's voice. "Come now, my sweet girl. Wake up." "Mom, what happened?" Helen asked, even though her mouth felt like cotton. "You did, Helen. You went into the river to save a little girl. They said you drug her out, breathed into her mouth and then passed out." Esther answered gently. It came back to Helen then. "Is she okay?" "No one did anything. They just watched and took video. Her name is Lydia. And she is going to be fine thanks to you," Esther assured Helen as she patted her cold hand. "I was so scared for her. She was so alone and so afraid. I just could not stand and watch," Helen said softly. Helen's mother sighed deeply. "I know, but you could have been killed. Your father would have had a heart attack if he was still alive and had seen you do something so dangerous. How many times in the past has he told you the current can take you before you can help?" "I know. That is why I tied a vine around my waist. It seemed sturdy enough to hold and it did." Helen's voice shook with exhaustion. "Helen, I know you think I am overreacting. But you need to remember that you are my baby. I thought I had lost you when I saw you on the news," Esther said, her voice raw with emotion. "Wait, what? You saw me on the news?" Helen asked. "Yes, the news. You had just gone under to grab her when they started airing it live from the news chopper. You were on the screen long enough for me to see it was you. And then you were gone. I thought that would be the last image I had of you." Her mother sniffed. "I'm sorry, Mom. I did not realize you had seen it. I can understand now how upset you would be seeing that. Helen whispered. They are here, you know. They want to talk to you. Esther said softly. Who is here, Mom? Helen's face showed her confusion. The news media is here. It seems you are a bit of a hero. People uploaded the rescue to the internet and everything. Esther brushed another stray hair from Helen's forehead. Helen tried to take a calming breath. She hated attention. She suddenly felt drowsier. Her mother's look of concern told her. She looked more tired too. Rest now, my girl. We can deal with the news crews. When you are feeling better, Esther said as she softly touched her daughter's forehead. Helen felt her mother's warm hand on her forehead. Again as she dozed back off to sleep. Chapter 2. Logan Day was on the phone with his mother. He rolled his eyes as she continued to express the concern she had for him. He had grown up in a small town along the Susquehanna River. He went to church every Sunday morning and night. With his parents, as did most of the town. He loved his mom, but knew she had a very specific view of how things should be. He did not share that view. In the years since he had left that small town, he had acquired fame and fortune. Many things he grew up with stayed with him, others fell along the path. He was not by any means a playboy, but he did enjoy female companionship from time to time. He donated to charity and did his part to help the poor. He was just getting ready to defend himself when he heard his mother gasp, "Dear God!" Alarm rose up within him. Are you okay, Mom? I just turned on the news. A little girl has broken through the ice. She is not going to make it much longer. Dear God, no. She gasped again. What? Mom, what is going on? His alarm continued to grow. I know that young lady. My friend's daughter. Just jumped into the water after the child. Her name is Helen. Logan. She will never make it. Wait. It looks like she has a rope or something tied to her. Some men are holding it. His mother continued to give play-by-play. She gasped again. The child let go of the ice. She went under. His mother was sobbing now. Helen went under. Where is she? I see the rope. Where is she? Mom, please, you need to calm down. Turn it off. Wait to hear what happens. Logan started to plead with real concern. I see Helen. She has the child. They are pulling her in. Elena said excitedly. Mom, turn it off. You can't get this excited. Logan pleaded again. They made it to shore. Helen looks fine. She looks like she is giving CPR. Elena ignored her son's plea. Please, Mom, Logan pleaded again. Okay. It is off now, his mother said. She sounded out of breath. Are you okay? Logan asked softly. I am. My heart is beating slower now. I just had to see her make it to shore. I love Helen. She is special, Elena said softly. That Helen girl should have known better than to go into that icy water. Didn't her dad teach her anything? Logan said with anger. He did. You knew him, Chester Kisser. With Helen it does not matter. If you knew her, you would know she would give her life before she watched a child die. Elena defended her young friend. She sounds just plain stupid to me. Did she even know the child? Logan's voice was angry. I don't know if she did or not. It still would not have made a difference. She is not afraid to die, you know. She is a Christian. There is something about her relationship with Christ that touches people around her. It is like she truly sees him as all she needs. His mother finished softly. Are you going to be okay? Logan changed the subject. He did not know why, but hearing his mom talk about this girl made him more uncomfortable than when she talked to him about where he was in his Christian walk. I am fine now, thank you, son. I love you. Elena assured him. I love you too. Logan hung up the phone, his mind trying to picture a girl that would give no thought to herself and save a person in need. He wondered if he would have stepped up and done something. He hung his head a bit ashamed as he realized the answer was probably no. If he had to be honest, he could not do it because he knew he was not ready to die. That thought gave him, for just a moment, pause.